Oh, okay. Usually does. Right, might see reviewing.
What's that?
Should probably go with like
Oh, yeah.
signage.
Words. So let's see, Friday we were in short sleeves.
You know, what a difference, huh?
Oh,
Monday looks,
Yeah,
supposed to be about 58 on Monday, so
is it?
that's what it said.
Oh,
We've got a few more days.
Get the weekend in.
yeah, we do Monday.
Third, we said that 12th we were gonna shut
Yeah.
it down, but the Thursday before that, snow and 30.
Is it really?
For 2 days, so hopefully we make the weekend, I don't know.
Wow, really?
You may have to shut it down. If it's anything like the last few days.
We gotta get those kegs empty. Get it down to $1 a draft.
4 o'clock.
Let me know when.
Put out by the road with a sign on it.
All right, let's call the meeting to order, 4 o'clock. It's tonight's agenda.
Yeah, I had an extra one, so maybe that's yours.
Everybody's doing it. Okay. Andy Fiacco is excused. Patrick Doyle is 30 minutes out, so we won't have Patrick right away. On the order 4. And I need a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll move it.
Brian, second.
Second.
Larry. Roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes,
Bill,
Yes,
Bob,
Yes.
and Ron.
Yes, motion carried. Next, we're gonna need a motion to approve the minutes of the October 4th meeting as submitted. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections? None?
I'll move.
Okay. Moved by Gary. And who seconded?
I will.
Karen, seconds. Roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Larry.
Yep.
Gary,
Yes,
Bill,
yes,
Bob.
No.
You don't have to
Abstain.
Abstain, sorry.
And Ron.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, on to tonight's business. Here will then declare more site plan review. Discussion from applicant. I assume that Mr. Eggleston,
Bob Eggleston, architect, I'm still with you. We're still doing projects. This is a recently subdivided lot. When the subdivision was done, they had some requirements, which we have followed in putting in bioswales. We have a bioswale that we've put at the easternmost end, which basically is capturing water coming down from the neighboring properties. And we have an under drain on that. I have a detail in here for that. I have an under drain that will take it over to the stone line ditch, which was designed to take that storm water once it was slowed down and cleaned. We also have a second bioswale in the south west corner that's been designed to take pretty much most of the water from the house in the property. You'll see I've shown in yellow the roof drains and the under drains from the house taking the stormwater, directing it to the bioswale. And then again, this has an under drain on it, so it'll take the clean, slowed down water and deliver it into the roadside ditch and culvert, which it was designed to take. We are showing an area where we'll have topsoil stockpile. So that will be, of course, sitting there during the project so that they can then do the final grading and whatnot after things are put together. Again, this is just a small, single-family dwelling with a detached garage. And they're anxious to get started. They actually finally have a contractor who's actually maybe to get going. I really don't know what to do these days.
Actually,
Yes,
And we totally appreciate the fact that winter construction does bring on, for better or worse, different conditions. And these are things, and I was just talking to Ally about some of the things, and appreciate her comments that she had sent, which kind of is more of a procedural checklist, which I've given to the owners so that they can pass it on to the contractor and have them follow the rules, because it's kind of nice to do it right the first time.
good idea.
Are there any questions?
I didn't actually see that, but I had just a couple things. Bob,
Yeah, doing nice.
in the construction entrance,
Yes.
what size stone, and of course, geofabric has to be installed underneath,
Correct.
and what size stone, because 1 to 4 inches, what's really recommended.
Right, correct. Yeah, the construction entrance should be the larger stone, like a 4-inch stone, as opposed to your run of pressure, which would be
Right.
the final.
Right,
And that wasn't called out as a specific detail, but we can add that to the drawings that we have a number 4 mix on the
yeah,
driveway,
that's, yeah.
just to help keep the road
Exactly.
clean.
The other thing that I was wondering about, maybe I missed it on a plan, but the temporary stockpile of topsoil,
Correct?
that should be, I don't know how long is that going to be?
Well, because they will be starting in the next week or 2, it probably will be there until spring. Usually it takes 6 to 8 months to build a house. And actually, I don't know as I do for Owasco, but I know for the city of Syracuse watershed, I do a construction sequence. And in the construction sequence, you try to get the rough grading done as soon as you can. You then would put straw down, I believe that's in your guidelines, to kind of help get through the winter and your freeze thaw erosion and stuff like that as people are working around the sun. And obviously the bioswales go in first, so that you're preventing the water from coming
Right.
down onto the site, getting the site, and also a place to take the drainage as you develop that. Once you get the siding, once you get the roof done, and the eaves, we like to get the roof gutters up and then get those directed into the bioswale. So again, you don't have this mess around the outside. And usually you have to wait for dry weather in the spring when the topsoil has dried out.
Mhm.
And you want the siding finished and those types of things before you can put the topsoil on it. It might be a little bit late to try to put ryegrass on the topsoil at this
That was
point.
what I was gonna ask you about.
Yeah, so I think that's futile. We can put straw on it or whatever, probably would be a better option at this point.
As long as some consideration is given to that.
Or a big canvas.
Okay. And I guess that's all I have. Any further questions from the board? Abby?
It looks good to me.
Okay,
Just a clarification, the gutters around the house are going underground.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so what I show on the drawings is I show a dot where the downspouts are, and then I show a dashed line, which is yellow highlighted. That's the underground drain.
Oh, I see
system.
the dots. Okay.
okay.
And that's tied to the perimeter drain around the foundation as
You
well?
keep that separate.
Okay, but then the
You
perimeter
always
drain,
have
yeah.
active and inactive, because if something gets plugged up, now you're filling the basement.
Yeah, right.
So,
Got it. Good plan.
I know, that's
Good
what
point.
they did when they built my house.
Not a good idea.
No,
No. All right.
okay, no further discussion.
Looks good. Yeah.
Anybody wanna make a motion? Move it,
I'll move we.
Accept.
The plan.
accept the plan.
Plan stated September 22nd.
With the.
Is that with the conditions?
With the conditions.
The
Condition,
construction entrance,
yeah,
is, built using a number 4 stone, and you said, placing straw or some other cover over the stockpile until
and well,
spring, or as long as it's there.
Sure.
Correct?
whatever else, Abigail, you had. Was that all you had? Same things I picked out,
Yeah,
and same kind of training. Okay,
Similar. So the motion is,
okay, so the motion is to accept it with those conditions,
Conditions, yes.
I'll second.
and Larry seconds. Roll call.
Aaron,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Larry.
Yep.
Gary,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
and Ron.
Yes, motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Good work to you.
It's been done as always.
Yeah, I was concerned with some good plan.
He really
Yeah.
does. Yeah, good, yeah.
Okay, that's all that's on the agenda for tonight. Unless there's something more to come before the board tonight. Yeah.
We had been adjourned from October to today's meeting. We didn't receive any sort of notice for another adjournment. Was there something that was provided?
That was verbally stated. Over there Thursday.
Wednesday, I think, last Wednesday.
You mean on the site? I
On
was
site.
present on site last week.
Okay,
Wasn't aware of that one. I missed it somehow in the communique. I didn't see that there was a meeting.
Tim, you
Tim
know.
was there, but
Yeah, we talked about it.
yeah,
Seeing over time, her letter. We just wanted to address the board informally about what I felt after the meeting, and also Patrick has some things he'd like to discuss with the board too. Unofficially, if you don't mind.
was there, I don't know this without looking, was there a notice of an adjournment of the public hearing for this evening's meeting?
No. We
Just
were
wasn't-
told not to put it on the
Yeah.
agenda.
Patrick said just don't put it on.
The meeting public hearing notice has already gone to the paper.
Right.
And then the meeting happened on site after.
Okay, we've continued the open
It's still.
public
being
hearing
continued.
portion of the meeting, right?
It's still in continuation, but we were not placing you on the agenda. But there was no way to get a message to the citizen to have them printed. That it was
Okay.
Being an adjournment.
I don't think it's a good idea to
Yeah,
say
we're-
anything off the record or.
Right, well, the
That's
issue
one thing.
becomes, for our purposes, I think that Mr. Buell alluded to it, is that the application that's before the board is merely for the minor subdivision. The concerns most recently raised in the letter of the engineer are directed at a site plan review. And there is no site plan application, so the crux of the situation has become the subdivision approval is just based on the lot dimensional requirements, not the site plan concerns that were raised. And I think the issue becomes whether Mr. Buell can prepare a site plan ultimately on a site plan application basis versus this, what's before the board presently, which is merely a minor subdivision application. Obviously, I apologize. I know the board's not prepared to address the specifics of that, but we've been going round and round on that particular issue. And I know that following that meeting, Mr. Buell and I have had conversation where he had said more than once, I'll let him supplement, but the issue is that there's the site plan concerns that are being raised that are not properly before the board even yet. We're at a minor subdivision application phase.
Larry, you wanna handle that one?
Sure.
Because
Well,
we've
I
been
think that
approving,
The difficulty that, I think the difficulty we've had all along with this, I mean, it is, yes, it is a subdivision, but it's. And we've expressed this in past meetings, that it's really, a stretch for us to visualize how a site plan review would, conform to all of the requirements of the zoning and planning board. And so with that in mind, what we've done is we've delayed that because we don't want to, I think in our sense anyway, that we don't really want to agree to a subdivision and then not have the building be able to logically be placed
Right.
within
the
that
code
piece of
addresses that.
property.
I think the minor subdivision sections of the code provide the planning board the authority to conditionally approve of a subdivision application. So that a site plan, and it's usually a 180-day window for the conditional approval to be valid. So that a site plan could be done,
Mhm.
because right now there isn't a site plan application before the board to consider, so it's kind of a confusing,
very
you know,
confusing.
cart and horse issue.
Yeah, we're
for
all
our
confused
purposes.
about it
Right,
as well.
So the
Yeah.
situation for us becomes, if we understood that the board, looking at the dimensional of the plan and the plat, that it met the Lake Lot District requirements, there could be a conditional approval. The ZBA, for example, just by way of example, approved of the variance on the garage that was contingent on planning board subdivision approval.
Mhm.
And it would seem that in sort of domino, that the planning board could approve of the subdivision conditioned on approval of a site plan ultimately. Because if it's not approved, the site plan, which is not before the board, then the subdivision application or approval, conditional approval expires.
Right.
It goes away automatically because of
Okay. Gentlemen, my apologies, but I'm gonna stop this right now and we're gonna adjourn. I don't wanna continue any further until we've consulted with our attorney, and get legal advice. And if Patrick was here, maybe we could do a little bit more on it, but Patrick and Tom, neither one was here. We were of the understanding that you folks weren't gonna be on the agenda tonight. And, we gotta just adjourn it.
December 6th then would be the, okay.
December 6th.
They, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry for the confusion, but I think we're of the
Yep.
mind that we've been, working with our attorney and our code enforcement official and, we're not being advised to do what you're suggesting at this point.
Right, yeah, I think the code allows for it. I didn't realize that, again, at this meeting later last week, that there had been any sort of, formal or adjournment of the tonight's meeting.
You
So
should have been told that.
yeah, I wasn't, it's all right. I have plenty
Not
to do.
necessarily by us.
No, I understand. So ultimately, the issue will just be coordinating with, it sounds like Attorney Blair on that
In
particular.
that particular issue, yeah, I think
Domino.
if we're advised that we could go ahead
can
with
do
that and there's safeguards in place to protect us and the
Right,
owner,
the applicant.
the applicant, right?
Right,
Then, yeah, and that's certainly a strategy, but right now, what we're saying is we're not prepared to move forward with
I
that.
understand you can't take action, but I thought we were still technically on the agenda, didn't realize we were postponing any presentations until December. But.
Okay,
I'm sorry
I thought it
again.
was a pretty positive
Terry.
meeting Out there, and glad you guys, I want to thank
Yep.
you for attending.
12-6.
got it.
We'll see you then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
guys.
Have a good week.
Okay. Is there any further from the board? Anything to come up before us tonight? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn. Bob,
Second.
Karen. So there we are. Meeting's adjourned.
Done and done.
Maybe waiting on that.
That's it. Or you gonna wait until we stop recording? Are we-
Are we still recording?
I'm going to try to stop it.
Thank you.